host, Sabrina Salvati. Doobie-doobie-doo. 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 I'm your host, Sabrina Salvati. Doobie-doobie-doo.
Hello. Happy Christmas Eve, everyone. I hope you are so ready for Christmas tomorrow. I was really bad this year and I decided not to go Christmas shopping until today. That was a huge mistake. I do not recommend doing that ever. I went to the mall. There was a lot of people. I had a little bit of anxiety. I'm not going to lie. Going into all these different stores, like I knew what I wanted to get. It was just the path of getting there and so many people around, these really long lines, and I don't like lines. I have this thing about lines. Almost got ran over by a baby stroller. Don't know if you were on RBN, but I talked about that earlier tonight. Yes, there was a woman. She came through the aisle, one of the stores I was in. She had one of those double seater baby strollers, but there was only one kid. So I was a little confused. And then she was like, coming through. And I was just like, oh my God, like, please don't hit me with the stroller. Almost got ran over by a baby stroller, you guys. Almost got the things people do for Christmas, the things that people will do. Very interesting. Don't do that ever. Don't wait till Christmas Eve to do that. What am I drinking tonight, guys? I have this beer called Squish. And it is by a brewery called Beautiful Math. So there's a little bit of a math thing going on here, and it's a pale ale, and it's really cool because I finally get to have it in my Santa glass. You see him, isn't he cute? He's cute. So that's what I'm having tonight. All right, guys, welcome to Sabby Sabs podcast. I'm your host, Sabrina Salvati. If you are new, Sabby Sabs podcast is a part of Revolutionary Blackout Network. You can catch me there on Thursdays for the roundtable, and you can catch me here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Want to give shout outs to people in the chat. Shout out to everyone watching on Rockfin, YouTube, and Twitter. What is going on, everybody? Hello. What's going on? Pitchforks are coming, says happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too as well. Greetings, Hannah G says Sabby. Eric says ho ho lefty friends. What's going on, Eric? He's a Sabby member. Greetings, Gamer for Life. Always a pleasure to see you. What's going on? Dana Fairbanks says Merry Christmas, everybody. Shout out to Cam. Hey, everyone. Merry Christmas. I love that picture, by the way. Greetings, Laura Hansen says doobie doobie doo. Happy Merry today. Greetings, Jenna Colby. Doobie doobie doo. Overnight says, oh, dog, can house pets carry the new variant? I don't know. That's a good question. I have to look into that. Who knows these days? Greetings, Christian Gomez says, so happy you're live as always. You the best. I am here. Gonna check out a Christmas movie after this. Greetings, Bomb Hill, not people. Doobie doo. What's going on? Sean Harris says, hi, Sabby, nice hair. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I got a nut, my much needed haircut. I almost said I got a nut. That's bad. Much needed haircut. And I finally touched up got the highlights touched up. Greetings, E.G. Butler, happy holidays. What is going on? Dolores says, hello, everyone. I like your dog. So cute. Oh, let me make sure I get through everybody here. What's going on? Yipper99 said, just made it. I'm glad that you did. Greetings, J-Dog says, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. What? So I'm going to get into that. We need to have that conversation. What's going on? Couch says hair looks great. Thank you so much. Horny Unicorn says nut is good. You guys are so bad. Oh, you guys are so bad. Greetings, K. Ryan says hi all. Sam Kiefer says not a nut. No. Okay. I'm going to start off with that question. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I say no. I think Die Hard is an action movie, but my husband says yes because he said it takes place during Christmas. So Do Christmas movies necessarily, the only requirement that it needs is to take place during Christmas? Is that how it works? I don't know. I just always saw it as an action movie, but people are saying yes. D Apprehensive said yes. Oh man. Oh man. So maybe Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. What's going on? Phenomenal Mysticism says, hello, Sabby Sab. I'm more excited when the holidays end than when they're occurring because I don't really feel anything special from them. I gotta tell you, like, I like decorating for Christmas. I do not like Christmas shopping. I get anxiety when I go shopping for Christmas. It's too many people, these small cramped spaces. I get hot. I have on my coat because it's cold here. So I go into the mall with my coat on because I have to park outside. And then I get inside the mall and then the heat's turned up to like 80. And then I'm like sweating and I'm like, let me take off my coat and I don't have anywhere to put it. It's just, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I don't know. Horny Unicorn says McCain brings the goods like Santa. I don't know about that. Oh man, I don't know. It's a good movie though. I do think it's a good movie. Good question. Bomb Hill says, what about Castaway then? Not enough time spent during Christmas though, even though it was a big part of the movie. That is true. That's right. I'm gonna have to think about that. All right, guys. I like to talk about mutual aid a lot, like on this show. And we do have a request. Now, this is someone who is a friend of the show. You've seen them on here before. And right now, they do need our help. I'm going to share my screen, let you know what's going on. So, Unapologetic, his name is Dontel. You guys know him as Unapologetic. That's the name of his channel as well. He posted this today. Thanks to all who checked on me the last couple of weeks. I was dealing with a health issue I've had for a while. Then this week, I caught something and been sick, stuck in bed. Hotel prices doubled for Christmas. I literally have nowhere else to go. Anything helps. So, and here's the cost here of the room per night. $83.49 plus taxes and fees comes to $9.99 surcharge. Boy, they really, capitalism really, they're so greedy. So freaking greedy, man. The total charge is $104.75 a night. Guys, anything that you have, if you can donate to Dontel, Eric, if you can put the link to his Cash App. Oh, you already did. Okay. The link to his Cash App is in the chat. So guys, please help him out if you can. Any little bit will help. It's Christmas Eve. Nobody needs to be put out right now. I don't want anyone to be homeless regardless, but especially during this time. Like, Dontel is amazing. He does great work. The name of his channel is Unapologetic. He talks a lot about foreign policy, and he's going through a tough time. And this is real life. This is real life for a lot of us, or some of us that do this. Like, we don't do this full time. Most of us have other jobs, and Dontel does like amazing work, and he's been working really hard, and he's also obviously not feeling well. So please help him out, you guys. Someone just put something in the chat. Wellesley said, that's nuts, over 3,000 a month. See how they get over it? It's just so frustrating. Like, capitalism is so frustrating. No reason why people need to pay that much to stay, like, in a room. So please help him out, you guys. I'll shout this out again at the end of the stream as well, because we really need to help each other out. Like, when I tell you guys, like, we have to help each other, we really do, because like, we can't sit around and wait for other people to do it for us. It's just not going to happen. Just being honest. I want to start off with something kind of funny. I saw this earlier today. You guys know this is a Friday chill stream, but I do want to make you laugh. And so Joe Biden accidentally said something earlier today. I don't think he realized what he was saying. So let's watch that.
That's right.
I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.
Well, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey,
That's right.
I hope you have a wonderful
Hey,
Christmas.
well, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey,
So, so Joe Biden just said, "Let's go, Brandon." I agree. So it's obvious that he doesn't know what "Let's go, Brandon" means. It's just so fake. That was just so fake to me. "Let's go, Brandon." Like he doesn't even know what it means. He's just repeating it. How often do they do this? How often do politicians do this? Somebody tell me. Anybody? Somebody? Anybody? So casually too, right? So casually too. Yipper99 says, who was he talking to? I don't know. Like, I found this on Twitter. It's been going around. In fact, "Let's Go Brandon" is trending on Twitter right now. And it's because of that video. So I just don't. Let me see if they put it here. No, they don't say who it's from. So I'm not sure. Oh my gosh. I don't know. But if that's like a mainstream network, don't be surprised if that person may not have their job later on. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. But I just thought it was kind of funny because he just. Yes. Phenomenal mysticism is correct. "Let's go, Brandon" is code phrase for F Joe Biden. Yeah. And he said, I agree. Let's go, Brandon. So the fact that he could do that so casually, not knowing what it means, doesn't know who Brandon, doesn't even ask who's Brandon. I would have been like, who's Brandon? Didn't even ask, just casually. That's how easily they can play this game. This is very easy, you guys. Very easy. Feel free to put any questions that you have for me in the chat. I do have a couple announcements, you guys. So next week, New Year's Eve, I am doing a stream with KRTD Media. It's going to start at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to go till 1 a.m. into New Year's Day. We are dual streaming, so it'll be on both channels. And I have a video for that. I'll go ahead and play the intro for you. Should be fun. We got a couple of people stopping by. I'm not going to tell you who they are. It'll be a surprise. You'll see when they get here. But I'll go ahead and share the stream for you. So give me just a second. Or not the stream, but the promo vid. So here we go. Should be fun. I'm excited about it. Oh God, that's a bad place to start. But that's the beginning of the video. So here we go. Hey guys, I'm Sabrina Salvati. I'm the host of Sabby Sabs podcast and the co-host of Revolutionary Blackout Network.
I'm Shane Coughlin from KRTD Media.
This New Year's Eve, I'll be live streaming with KRTD Media.
Come and ring in the new year with us.
We'll be streaming from 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 1 a.m. into New Year's Day.
We have a few friends stopping by.
So come celebrate New Year's Eve with us. It should be a pretty awesome time. See you there. Yep. So that'll be fun. Tune in for that. There's also going to be music. Jesse Jet, I know, is going to be playing a set. Some of you may be familiar with him on Twitter. He actually made the song for my intro. So it should be a fun time. We are going to count down. And this is something I forgot to mention in that video. We did a poll on Twitter, and we polled people what did they think were the top news stories of 2021. So there's 15 options. So we're actually going to count down the top news stories of 2021. We got those poll results back. That should be interesting to hear. I think you all are going to be surprised at the results, because when I first got the poll results, I was like, really? I don't know. I was shocked by that. I don't know. Number one didn't surprise me, but I was shocked at some of the other responses. So it should be a lot of fun. So definitely stay tuned for that. Brandy said, I'm excited for this. I'm the social media manager for KRTD. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, it'll be a fun time, you guys. So I did want to do like a little bloopers reel. Like last week, I don't know what was going on last week. I just had I had a lot of bloopers. And so I made a little video, a blooper video that I thought you guys would think is pretty funny. Again, this is like a Friday chill stream, so I'm going to show this to you. And I am going to show you that year in review video for this show a little bit closer towards the end tonight. So, but I want you to see this one first. So yeah, this is just to show you that, you know, I make mistakes. And when I make them, apparently they are very obvious. But just some things behind the scenes that you guys like don't get to see. So check this out. This should be pretty interesting. Recording started. Okay. It's recording. Is it recording? Yes, it's recording. Okay. These flyaways. Ugh. Stop flying away. Hey guys, I'm Sabrina Salvati. I'm the co-host of Sabby Sabs podcast. No, I'm not. I'm not. Oh shoot, I'm live. Crap. This New Year's Eve will be streaming from 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 1 a.m. into New Year's. Hey Meg.
Hey.
Oh shoot, I'm live. I did this twice tonight. I did it twice. Okay, I'm gonna start I'm so bad at this. Oh man, I'm still talking too, and people can still hear me. Where's my intro? Okay, there it is. All right. See you in a second. Yeah, so just some of the behind the scenes moments that you guys don't get to see. There's more things too. I didn't want to go all the way back because I had another video that I wanted to do for tonight, but it's just yeah, pretty funny things. Pretty funny things that happen that you guys don't get to see if you're behind the scenes. My question to all of you, how many of you are ready for New Year's? I'm not ready for this. I'm just saying, I can't believe it's the end of the year already. And I'm kind of excited in a way to go into like 2022. But at the same time, I felt like this year went by very quickly. Like we were still under a lot of restrictions and things like that. Like for the pandemic still, things are still slowly getting back to normal. But I am definitely not ready for 2022. Steve Cutler Live says ready. You are, Steve? Man, Steve, I wish I could be like you. I wish we were right here. For those of you that came in later, I said I'm drinking a beer called Squish tonight. And this is by Beautiful Math Project. And I think this is local to Massachusetts. Yeah, it's made in Raleigh, Massachusetts. Yeah, so a lot of it's a math theme that's not uncommon for me here in Massachusetts. There's a lot of like math like things. There's actually a bar here in Cambridge, Massachusetts called what's the name of it? I wonder if Hubs can help me out. Miracle of Science. And it's like the menu is like a periodic table and it's just only here. Only here. Go to some of the comments in the chat. Cam said, meh, same old stuff, just a different year. Do you guys believe in New Year's resolutions? Like I used to do that and then I stopped doing it because I'm like, why do you have to wait for New Year's? Wesley says, are we ready for year 2 of the Biden administration? It seemed like a long first year. Yo, it feels like Joe Biden's been president for 4 years already. I'm not kidding. So much has happened. It's really like kind of dragged on. I'm like, is it time for him is he up for re-election yet or something? I don't know. But a lot has happened. I don't know if I told you guys about this either, but apparently he is in negotiations with Joe Manchin right now to remove more items from the Build Back Better bill. I kid you not. They're still trying to remove items. In fact, I'll show you. This is why I said before, just let it go, because they had already removed items from it, and now they're trying to remove more items. Apparently, this seems to be the only way that Joe Manchin may change his mind. So I don't know. I'm going to pull it up now. I'm going to show you, because I was reading this the other day and I was like, this is just getting ridiculous. Okay, here we go. Let me share my screen. Because this, oh man. Biden insists he and Manchin will get something done after Build Back Better setback.
Senate Democrats tonight on what may be the most important.
Nope, sorry. He started talking before I muted. Here I go.
The spectrum between Joe Manchin saying this.
This is a no on this legislation.
And Joe Biden saying this.
Senator Manchin and I are going to get something done.
CNN's chief congressional correspondent Manu Raju confirms that Manchin joined the meeting that is still underway. Manu, what have you learned so far?
Yeah, Joe Manchin defended his position. He was arguing, Michael, I'm told, that this is a position that he's been consistent with for the past 5 months. He said that inflation is a real concern. He said the debt is a real concern. He said he did support increasing taxes on the wealthy. That's some position that he's had for some time. That he has concerns with the way that is structured in the bill, however, because of the opposition from a different moderate senator, Kirsten Sinema, about raising tax rates on corporations, on individuals. Manchin, on the other hand, supports going that route. But nevertheless, Manchin made clear he is still opposed and concerned about the way this proposal is structured. He said, I'm told from a source, he said,
I just want to jump in here for a second, because this is what I was telling you guys before when he said no to the bill and progressives were trying to pretend like they were surprised and they were so furious. That's what I told you guys. He's been saying this for the past couple months, that he did not agree with this bill. And they honestly thought that if they removed some of the items from the bill, then he would change his mind. But even after that, he still said he didn't agree with it. Just prove him a point.
he talked about the debt. He said he didn't get pushback, but he said this. He said, inflation is a serious issue. These programs will cost more than they are saying. I can't add to the debt. And so he got some pushback, some concerns were raised about his characterization of the plan. Democrats say this bill will be completely paid for. Manchin, however, has raised concerns about the temporary nature of some of these measures, saying that if you just extend things 1 year or 3 years or 5 years, they're just going to come in and keep extending these things year after year after year. Instead, he wants these things expanded to 10 years, but he also doesn't want it to go any higher than his $1.75 trillion top line number, which is why they would have to significantly rewrite this bill in order to get his support. So suffice to say, Michael, Democrats are coming out of this meeting that is ongoing, saying they want to move ahead, but having no consensus about how to do just that.
I'm going to go to some of the comments in the chat because I saw some come up. Delthea Simmons said, but if Manchin changes his mind on a broke ass bill, where's the win? Bingo. Bingo. We still don't really get anything. We still don't really get enough of what we should get. So that's important to note. Right. They got $700 billion for the military, $768 billion to be exact. Phenomenal Mysticism says in 2022, I want to see the third political parties gain traction so they can undermine the duopoly. I want to see that too. And in fact, I started bringing third party candidates like on my show. If you guys have third party candidates running in your area, please like email me. Don't send me a DM. My Twitter DMs are like going into my Twitter DMs is like going to the beach and hoping not to step on a rock or a shell. I'm just saying. So a lot of times I try to avoid that area, but my email is always in the description portion of this video. If you click down below, you'll see my email. Email me and let me know about third party candidates that are running in your area, because they're not easy to find. I know sometimes like I'll Google them and it's vague or it's not advertised and I know someone was running in that area. Definitely let me know about that. Hit that like button, guys, because I know about the ones in my area. But let me know, because that's something we really need to get into and have more people, those kind of people come on. Before Delilah came on here, how many people knew that she was running for governor of Texas? Most people don't know because they don't even mention the third party candidate. Everyone knows Beto and they know Greg Abbott, but Delilah is also running. So that's why it's important that we bring them on and we promote them and give them attention, because mainstream media is just not going to give it. Mark Pugliese says, Sab, they say the military budget on a by-year basis and BBB over a period of 10 years. They do this to make the military look smaller than the 7.5 trillion they mean. That's a good point. That's a good point. Very interesting. Joe OWS said, I'm down for an American Spring in a few months and Occupy Wall Street 2.0. Wall Street are the puppet masters. Washington, D.C. are just simple-minded puppets. It's true. It's true. I still think back to when we had Occupy Wall Street, and we had that here in Boston too. It was all over the news. That was actually like right when I just moved to Boston. It was all over the news. And so we need to get back to that again. Like something like that was big. That was big. And it needs to continue to happen. When we do these types of direct action, it shouldn't just be a one-time thing. So for example, the March for Medicare for All, that should happen again. And I think that is the plan, to have that happen again this year as well. We have to continue doing it. Because imagine if, like, during the civil rights movement, if they only did it like one time, like one protest or one boycott, wouldn't have really, gotten as far as they did. They did that for a long time. Corey said, Sabby, is it true that Boston higher ed institutions pay higher salaries because of the cost of living? Let's talk about that, Corey. That is a good question. The salary depends on the role that you have. So for example, the deans, they make a lot. They make six figures, right? But for those of us in these like staff positions, like academic advisors, we don't make much. Some of the directors can make a decent amount depending on how many years of experience they have, depending on how much funding that department that they work in has. Like that's a big part of that, by the way. Some departments have more money than others, right? So it depends on that. But the people who are mainly making the money is the president of the university and the deans. They're the ones that make the money. Faculty would be after that. Some deans are also faculty, but faculty would be after that. And that would be faculty that are, I would say, permanent faculty, full-time faculty. Adjunct faculty, no. Because adjunct faculty are paid per course and they're not given benefits. They don't get the health benefits. They don't get the dental and stuff like that. And a lot of times that's why they'll teach at multiple colleges. Adjunct faculty is actually a way for universities to save money. I think it's ridiculous, though, not to give people benefits. So what they'll do is they'll hire a bunch of adjunct faculty so they don't have to hire another full-time faculty member. And people who are applying for those adjunct faculty positions, a lot of times they'll take it because they can't get an interview for a full-time faculty position because they don't have the experience or they don't have enough research. A lot of times they want you to already have the teaching experience and the research. And so if it's not up to par, then they'll just take those adjunct positions. But it's terrible. It's terrible. I've had adjunct faculty before and they're working like 3 jobs. Isn't that a shame? That's like a shame. I said a shame. Isn't that a shame? Some of these universities, like Harvard, like why would you have a lot of money. Harvard has like the largest endowment here. So to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Dan O'Neill said, if you don't vote for Joe, you ain't black. Isn't that something? The fact that Joe Biden was able to say that and just nonchalantly just shrug it off. You have him saying that to Charlemagne the God. And then a couple days ago, you have Kamala Harris saying to Charlemagne the God, don't talk like a Republican. And this woman wonders why her polling numbers are so low. Same thing with Joe Biden. They wonder why. Where Pilgrim said, how long does it take an adjunct to convert to a full-time position? So it actually doesn't work that way. These are two separate categories. So like adjunct is one category, full-time faculty is a separate category. If you want to get a full-time faculty position, you still have to apply for that. Isn't that that's a shame, right? So sometimes like the adjunct faculty, they'll teach in the evening, like those evening classes, or they may do an online class. But they're not even on they don't consider them on the same level as full-time faculty. And even if you're full-time faculty, that doesn't mean you're tenure faculty. And people who are tenure track, they're the ones that have a lot of power. Because once you're tenured faculty, it takes a lot to remove those people. You have to do something really, really bad. And even if they do something bad, sometimes they'll still like get away with it. Not kidding. I think tenure is like I think it's on its way out. I think it's old school. It's hard to get a tenure track position. It can take years. And it's just, I just don't see, the only point of it is the fact that you are basically up here. Again, this is capitalism. You are basically up here and all the other teaching faculty are below you. And of course, the staff is at the bottom. And then you have the food and service workers on campus who are below them. Just more exploitation. Corey said, Sabby, is your onboarding process difficult? Do you have like 10 different passwords at work? Yes, I do have like 10 because you have so many different software systems that are used. You have to have different passwords for each one. It's annoying, to be honest with you. I'm also not the best at remembering passwords. So that's annoying. Onboarding process. Some universities I've worked at are really, really good about that. Like when they train you, they really train you. MIT was really good at that. I trained one-on-one with my predecessor and one-on-one with her coworker for 2 solid weeks, nonstop training. And one thing I will say about over there, they do make sure that you're where you're prepared, that you're ready, set, go. But then there's some schools I worked at where there was no training at all. Like you just kind of had to figure it out as you go along. Isn't that sad? Welcome to the world of higher ed. Oh man. Delthea Simmons said tenure is on the way out, but the professors who have it won't fight to keep it for people who follow them. That's true. There is a lot of like seniority in higher ed, and people who have that seniority, they have no problem letting you know that they have that seniority. They tout that. Like it's like this ego thing that they made it there. They really like to brag about that, believe it or not. They really do. And it's unfortunate again, but that goes back to capitalism. Because that goes to show you again how the people at the bottom are exploited. I just told you guys, like the deans are making 6 figures. The president at some of these universities, they're making 6 figures, $1 million a year, $2 million a year, and the university pays for their house. So they don't even pay a mortgage. The university pays for it. Meanwhile, you have people who are academic advisors who are making like $40,000 a year in Boston. Not much here. That is not much to live off of here. Joe OWS says, with colleges and universities earning record profits, those in higher education field are finding it harder to get tenure. It's true. It's true. Do you guys now understand like why it was such a big deal? Like when Harvard didn't give Cornell West tenure, because he met all the requirements. Like the thing with tenure is like, you have to have the research. Well, he had that extensive research. You also have to have the teaching experience. He met all those requirements. There was no reason why they shouldn't have given it to him. The reason why they did not was because of the conflict with Israel and Palestine. And Harvard is going to side with Israel. Because you have to go back and you have to look at a lot of these Harvard alumni, the ones who are donors at Harvard. Mike Bloomberg donates to Harvard University. There's a program named after him there. A lot of people don't know about that. Robert Kraft, owner of the Patriots, went to Harvard Business School. So They have a lot of money coming in. A lot of money coming in. Yes, Nona, I agree. I agree. Harvard did Dr. West wrong. Yeah. But you know what? This is how some of these like elite institutions, this is how they do you when you don't move the way that they want you to move. This is what they do. They want to say that they want to have diversity, but they still want you to play their game at the end of the day. Happy Christmas, Sabby Sabs from Kate. Thanks so much, Kate. Happy Christmas to you too. Yeah, it's just one of those things. And he's not the only one. It happened to Nicole Hannah Jones for the University of North Carolina. Same thing happened to her. It's not easy for African-American professors to get tenure. I'm just going to be honest with you. Just keeping it real. Like I said, you have to move the way that they want you to move. And as soon as you step out of line with that, they're like, okay, that's it. We're done. Let it go. No. I'm going to show you guys something. I was on JB's show, JB from RBN. And I want to talk about this topic because this has come up a couple of times. We're talking about how we can like some of the problems I think that we have like on the left. And JB and I were talking about that. I'm going to share this clip with you because where did it go? There it is. A couple people have reached out to me about this clip. And I want to get your opinion on this about us being organized on the left. And it's just something that I've noticed that we do have a problem with. And honestly, I think I know what needs to be done, but I don't know if it's something that can be done. And I'm just going to be honest with you. So this is what was said. Let me mute my mic. Like being in this space, I want to say this to everyone watching. Once you do this and once you know how things really work and what's going on in reference to politics and the money in this country, once you see it, it's really hard to unsee it. It would do a disservice once you know this information if you don't spread this information to other people that you know and make other people aware. We shouldn't just keep it to ourselves, like in our bubble on the left. We need to tell as many people about this as possible because most people I talk to, they don't know about the money.
We can say that we told people and that they can't say that we didn't know.
Right. I grew up in the church, and one of the things that was preached to us a lot is we needed to spread that message, right? So we had groups in our church that went on missionary. They went to different countries to educate them. And this is another case of mutual aid because they would go to other countries and they would help out those people in those countries. On the left, we're not organized. And when I brought up the example of the church and missionaries, they're organized. We are not organized on the left. We have a huge split based on personalities of podcasters. You have people on one side, you have people on another side. So people can't even come together on the issues because they don't want to be seen with another person on the other side. This is why we don't get anything done. And I've said this before. I don't care whether I like someone or not. If you were to contact me to do something for an event, an issue, for example, healthcare, obviously, of course, like I would do it. I would be there. But you have this big split on the left right now. And until you find a way to bridge that gap and bring those people together, I don't see how we're going to be organized. I really don't. There is a class divide. There's a podcaster personality divide, electoral politics divide. Like some of us are just done with trying to put people through the Democratic Party. So unless we find some type of common ground, I don't see us becoming organized. And if we do not become organized, I do not see us implementing any type of change. Am I right? I don't know. It seems like the only time we can come together is when there's an electoral campaign. It's not 2016. It's not 2020. Bernie's not running anymore. AOC is not running. The squad, all of them, they're in office. They're all set. And this is that in-between stage where there is no one running. There's no one right now for us to get behind. And there's been a lot of disappointment when it comes to the squad, when it comes to, well, I had my doubts about Joe Biden, but obviously still when it comes to Joe Biden, and there's been disappointments about Bernie Sanders too, about him just kind of going along with Democratic establishment and saying Joe Biden's doing a good job when he's not. Him saying Nancy Pelosi's doing a good job when he knows well that she's not too. So right now, we're not together. I don't feel like we're organized. And I feel like this is something that the right is really good at. Cam said, you're absolutely right, Sabby. We on the left are extremely divided. It's just, look, you can hate on the right all you want, but at the end of the day, one thing they do have is they are organized. Even some of the ones that didn't really want to come together for Trump, at the end, they all came together. You know what I mean? Like, so we don't have that. And I feel like this is really why we can't get things done. We couldn't even get people to come together for Medicare for All marches. People were mad about that. Like, there were people on the left who were attacking activists, and that's not the first time. It happened again during Force the Vote, when you had people on Jimmy Dore's show talking about like their healthcare stories and their struggles. You had people on the left attacking them because they were on a show that they don't like. Thanks, Dorothea Simmons, for the super chat. You do business type things in a business type manner, and too many people on the left think anything to do with business is evil. That is true. It's true. So we can't do activism. We can't do, direct action, like the things that Bernie Sanders told us to do. Now, some of those same people were totally fine with that when Bernie told us to do it. But when some of us wanted to continue doing it, we're bad people. So it doesn't make any sense. And this is why we don't get ahead. This is why we don't accomplish anything. And I don't mean to be pessimistic here. I just want to be real with you. What have we accomplished? Yes, we got the squad in office. Now what? Now what? A lot of us went out, canvassed for AOC, canvassed for Bernie Sanders, got progressives in the House. They folded. They're doing the same thing Democratic establishment is doing. Then we find out Justice Democrats has dark money too, taking money from George Soros. So I like to be honest with you guys. I like to be real here. And I just want to be real with you. Until we find some type of way to come together, and I don't know that will happen. I don't. There's a lot of ego. There's a lot of people think they can't talk to other people because they don't have as many subscribers as them. You guys don't even know. Like, if you saw what went on behind the scenes, it's appalling. It's appalling. So we have those kind of conflicts. And this is why the right will win come 2024, 2022. Eric, do you want to put up the comments from Rockfin? Thanks so much for the tip, Roger Meadows. Nuh-uh. No more wasted time and energy on marches to get feds to relinquish on Medicare for all. Nope. Each of y'all focus on your state government. Only New York State via state government and Maine via ballot initiatives are doing this at the state level. All those marches, perfect opportunity to get signatures for Medicare for all on the ballot. Thanks so much, Roger. Shout out to Jean. Merry Christmas to you too. She says, Merry Christmas, Sabby. Yeah, I wish that was something that was talked about more, like doing things on a local level. because we can implement change on the local level. We did it here in Massachusetts, you guys. That's how we legalized marijuana. I don't know if everybody knows that's how we did it. That's how we did it, was through ballot initiatives. We tried it with ranked choice voting. That didn't pass, but that's because most people I talked to said they didn't understand the question. And to be honest with you, if I wasn't following that story, I probably wouldn't have understood the question either. I think it was done that way on purpose. So we do have to focus on these ballot initiatives. And if you're in one of those states, definitely check those out. I'm gonna go to some of the comments in the chat. Brandy Weaver said, my husband works for the grad school here as application specialist. He has a master's degree and makes around $36,000 a year. That sounds about right. That's what I'm telling you. It sounds about right. And a lot of us still work like long hours too. People think if you work in higher ed that you get like all this vacation time and you don't work long hours. That's not true. Yeah, we can get the vacation time, but sometimes you don't even want to take it because when you come back from vacation, you come back to like 100, 200 emails. It's crazy. And sometimes you wish you didn't even go. Bomb Hill said, what do y'all think about workshops where we hash out details and specifics of things we want, such as healthcare, Green New Deal, etc.? That's a good idea. I would be all for that. That's a really good idea. Thank you, Bomb Hills. E.G. Butler says the competitive nature of capitalism keeps groups and people fighting each other. That too. That too. There's a lot of ego, man. I can't with the eg. I can't with the eg. It's too much. Delthea Simmons said the civil rights movement was based in churches because churches were organized and could organize a movement. Let's talk about that. You don't have to be religious to hear this message. I'm just going to tell you something. When I was growing up, like I grew up in the church. It didn't matter if Chris and Tim on the choir got along or not. At the end of the day, when it was time to recruit people to become members of the church, they worked together. When it was time to do missionary trips, these aren't real people, by the way, those are just pseudo names. When it was time to do those missionary trips, they came together and worked together. The church is organized. So they're doing something right. And at the end of the day, why are people coming to that church? They're coming there to hear the message, and they're coming together on the issues. And people that go to church are not perfect. Everybody has their flaws. I'm not going to call them that one way. No. Everybody has their flaws. But when it comes to organizing, they come together. Why can't we do that? Why? Thanks so much for the super chat. I'm a Phil American. Merry Christmas, Sabby. Hope you and the rest of Revolutionary Blackout has a very happy holiday. Thank you so much. I'm a Phil American. Merry Christmas to you too. Happy holidays. So yeah. Peace Dove says, Sabby, greater organized religion. Greater than organized religion. Oh, that's sweet. Anybody? The Robert Escobar show said because people aren't informed because their aren't informed because their local news only gives them weather and traffic. There's that too. I can see that. Laura said, I haven't found religion to help me with kindness. Truth. And I'm not saying anyone here has to go to church or be religious or anything like that. But I will say they're doing something right. When it comes to being organized and getting everybody to come together, they're on it. They're on it. And we talk about mutual aid a lot, but that's another thing that churches have been doing for a long time. When they go on those missionary trips, they don't just go and try to like talk to people about the Bible. They also do mutual aid. They'll go to other countries and build schools and homes. Look it up. And then while they're doing their mutual aid, they talk to them about the church. And this is similar to something that Rome does. When Rome does mutual aid for Tour for the Poor, he doesn't just give people food and give them clothes. He also talks to them about socialism. You got to educate people while you're doing the giving. You don't just give and take off. That's how you bring people in. Something that we can do more of. Kyle said, imagine if we had a mutual aid app where anyone could post anything they need or can provide, like Facebook Marketplace without money. There is something, hold on, let me see. There's a group, an app would be perfect, Kyle. That would be a lot easier. There is a group on Discord. It's a mutual aid group. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. Because I remember, did I join the group? What happened to the group? Oh, here it is. I'm really not good. Okay, found it. Mutual Aid Landing Zone. I think I'm going to find a way to put the link in the chat. Actually, I don't know how to do this with Discord. Eric, do you know how to do this with Discord? I'm going to just put the name in the chat. It's called Mutual Aid Landing Zone. And it's in Discord. Unfortunately, there's no direct way for me to share it from my phone. See, that's why Discord confuses me sometimes. Oh well. Oh well. It is what it is. Definitely check that out. Mutual Aid Landing Zone in Discord. But that's what that is. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like if we had an app, that would be so much. Man, that'd be so beneficial. So beneficial. All right, guys. I am not going to. Oh, thank you, Notori. Thanks so much. I'm not going to keep you guys waiting. I'm going to go ahead and play that video. So I'm not doing this video on New Year's Eve because I told you I'm doing that dual New Year's Eve live stream with KRTD Media from 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 1 a.m. on New Year's Day. I will be hopping on at 10 p.m. because I have something planned with like my family like earlier on that day. But you'll get to see a lot of different guests and stuff pop up. It'll be a fun time. There'll be music. It'll be fun. But I want to look back at like the first year for a Sabby Sabs podcast, which was this year, 2021. And I can't believe it's almost been a year already. I started like doing shows in January. Before that, I was already on YouTube. I used to do vlogs and all. If you go back and watch my old videos, you'll see all this stuff. I used to do vlogs and I did like educational videos. Like I used to talk to people about the steps that you needed to take for like first time home buyer program. Like I educated people about that, about working in higher ed. So I used to do a lot of that kind of stuff. And I talked about politics on Facebook, which I found to not be the best place to do that. And like a friend of mine actually told me, she was like, look, instead of writing these long ass essays on Facebook about how you feel politically, why don't you just put it on your YouTube channel? And so that's how this changed into Sabby Sabs podcast. So I figured, yeah, she's right. It's a lot easier to do it as a video instead of typing all this stuff on Facebook. And that's what I used to do like all the time, especially like during the debates too. I was just like, but anyway, it's been a long journey. And I watched this video last night and I got a little choked up. I told myself, I promised myself, I'm not going to get choked up in front of you guys. I'm not going to do that to you. But I did get a little teary-eyed. And the reason being is because I realized how far I came. And I just thought about all the things that I went through along the way, like how difficult it was in the beginning. And so anyway, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting. I'm going to go ahead and show the video. But this is going back to the very, very beginning. It's not every video. It's just a compilation of some vids going back to the very, very beginning to when I interviewed Rome. And this was before FHL started, which is now RBN. This is back before I even had a webcam. You're going to notice that this video. but I put together a compilation of different vids that I did like throughout the year for the show. I hope that I have grown and improved as far as this show goes. But here we go. I'm not gonna get choked up, guys. I'm telling you, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Gonna mute my mic. Why don't you tell people a little bit about your background?
I mean, I came up just like anybody else from the hood, just some regular guy coming up. But I had troubles, and I just didn't know where to point to, who made my neighborhood like this and whatnot. And that's what really just got me involved in everything.
Can you tell everyone why you decided to get involved with reparations?
Well, I wrote a book called Healing the Soul of America. And in doing so, it's like I took private American history classes. I hired someone who actually tutored me in American history, the Constitution, all these things. I mean, I had studied what most people have studied, but I needed to take a deep dive.
I know one of the things that you mentioned, and I've talked about this with my friends, like after Bernie dropped out of the race, is that once he dropped out, it was like, okay, who's going to lead this now?
That's exactly what happened. And it was just like a vacuum, and everybody just kind of scattered out to do their own thing in the same struggle. And the movement needs a person or maybe a group of people who's saying the things, hey, let's all move this way. Let's all move that way. And that's kind of what Bernie was doing. The problem was it was centered around a campaign and an election.
His name is Shahid Buttar. He's an activist and a civil rights lawyer, but you probably know him best from challenging Nancy Pelosi for the U.S. House of Representatives for California's 12th Congressional District. Welcome, Shahid.
Thanks, Sabby. It's great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
The divide with Force the Vote. I think some people were on the side with Jimmy Dore. Some people were on the side with Cenk Uygur. What do you think caused some of that confusion?
To me, it was a way to divert attention. I'm just gonna, make this about a person who I don't like, rather than listen to the fact that you say you've been for Medicare for All for 6 years. I'm going to fight tooth and nail for Medicare for All. And now all of a sudden you're knocking activists who are trying to do it.
A lot of times people will confuse the terms. They'll confuse liberal with progressive and with socialism as if we're all one thing, but we're not. Can you explain to people what is the difference between those terms?
Liberal is not the left. Liberalism is a center-right capitalist ideology. It believes in allowing the market to handle everything. And what we're seeing is the markets are rigged by the very politicians who say they're going to represent the people, but they actually represent Wall Street.
I personally feel like Democrats are not being aggressive. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, I mean, I think it's disgraceful, for one, the fact that 8 Democrats defected and that Chuck Schumer essentially didn't play more hardball and really use the bully pulpit to try to get those senators in line. I mean, whatever use he has was proven to be extremely lacking in that instance, because if you can't whip those senators into place on a provision which the Democratic majority was won on. Again, this was a promise that not only Joe Biden but those senators touted.
What do you think the left needs to do in order to win?
In order to win, the left needs to be more open-minded. Don't be so arrogant. There's a lot of arrogant people on the left, unfortunately. Be open to acknowledge that you don't know everything.
Defund the police is the moderate position. So there are a lot of people that acknowledge how our justice system works, how we've been waging a drug war. And it's very, very interesting to me that you have an entire liberal class that we actually dragged them over the last few decades to the left, where they acknowledge that the drug war was a failure. So they know the drug war is a failure, and they want to legalize marijuana and end the drug war. At least the voters, not the people in power. That's what I'm referring to. So they know the drug war is a scam. They know it's racist. Now, this is why I tell people, you can't be against ending the drug war while opposing defund the police.
If the police lied about being shot from the student's handgun, how do we know they're telling the truth that the student fired at them first? We don't. Looking back on things, why do you think Obama was able to win Ohio?
Obama was a smooth operator. He was very good at convincing people he was something he was not. And I think that that's just why he won, period.
My special guest today is Selwyn Jones. He's the uncle of the late George Floyd. Hi, Mr. Jones.
How are you doing, Miss Sabby? Are you having a wonderful day?
I am. I'm happy it's time for the weekend.
I know. Thank God it's Friday. I gotta ask this question.
Mhm.
Are you a black Italian?
I am not.
Sabby.
It's no, it's funny because so Salvati is my married name.
Salvati. Okay. Hey, I'm just checking because I ain't seen too many black French ones. You know what I'm saying? That's so cool.
This is my first live stream, first one hosting, so please bear with me. I have a couple of guests here on our panel. We have Nick from Fred Hampton Leftist. We have Dontel from Unapologetic. And we have Kamali from the Radical Democracy Show. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, Sabrina? Thanks for having me. Thanks for having all of us.
Glad to talk to you again, Sabrina.
Their names are Andre, Sharif, and Madeline, and they are organizers for the March for Medicare for All. Hey, guys.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
She has filed a discrimination lawsuit against VMware, which is a computer software company. Allison, welcome, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
My special guest today is no stranger to independent media. He is the founder of the MCSC Network. He's an activist, and he created the largest Bernie organization in the country. Everyone, please give a huge welcome to Nico House.
Thank you so much. A really nice introduction. I appreciate it. Makes me sound way more important than I actually am, but I will take it.
You had a tweet a while back where you were talking about going to high school in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Jack Brady,
yeah, the first thing I said was, oh my God, Nico was in the Ville.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I was on Strickland Bridge. I was in the Ville. Like, yeah.
Why do you think they didn't teach us about this in school?
Why aren't we taught about it in school? Is our school history to this day is just the most whitewashed, patriarchal, pro-capitalist history you could ever get. It amazed me. I knew growing up that like Columbus wasn't what we were told to some degree, but I was probably, either near 20 or around 20 years old when I first read that his fucking journal entries have him talking about how easily he can enslave people and how if they don't bring him gold, he just cuts off their hands and noses.
Nicole Hannah-Jones. You may remember this story about her from a couple of weeks ago. She was denied tenure from the University of North Carolina, but recently they have decided to offer her tenure and she has declined. My special guest today is Jimmy Dore. He's a comedian and he's the host of the Jimmy Dore Show. Welcome, Jimmy.
Hey, thanks for having me on. This is fantastic. I'm sorry I'm late, but we're here. We're here now.
Oh, no worries. Thanks so much for coming on. Representative Jim Clyburn is speaking out again about defunding the police. Most of the people on this panel have been doing this longer than me, but none of us have been doing this as long as some of the older shows. So we are the new left. I love it when I'm right. I don't always get it right, but what I do, Biden's approval rating hits a new low after the Afghanistan withdrawal. Nina Turner joins TYT. I said Neener. See, I've been in Boston too long, man. I'm starting to put R's at the end of words that don't have an R. From your experience, do you feel like
there's some sort of fear in reference to their career as a politician, or do you feel like they're just trying to go along with the group?
Well, first of all, I'm a radical in that I actually try to look at the genesis of things. I try to get down to the root of what the issues are, what the causes are, where the money comes from. And so the question I would ask is, were Justice Democrats ever ours? And the answer that I come to is no, they weren't.
All of those things that you just mentioned that you're concerned about, you're a conservative, I'm a leftist, I'm concerned about all of those things as well.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that media does, that mainstream media does. CNN, Fox News, they divide us between red and blue when the real issue that we should be looking at here is class.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you, yes, the path forward and the way to us winning is by putting another person in office and crossing our fingers and hoping that they do the right thing and hoping that they put pressure on Nancy Pelosi or whoever else is in that spot. Because eventually one day it'll be another person and it'll just be another rotating villain, and they'll continue to do it over and over. And it'll be another 4 years and another 4 years and another 4 years. And the next thing you know, you'll be 60 years old, 70 years old, and you still didn't get shit. Thank you for bringing that attention to what's going on in the global South as well, Josana. I want to give a shout out to Be the Change. Thank you so much for the super chat. Excellent and much needed discussion. Thanks so much, Be the Change. I don't know if you remember this, Aaron, but do you remember Napster?
Of course.
Yeah, Napster was a streaming service, but the music was free.
Yeah.
And so you could just download songs for free. And then like Metallica had like this riff about it. Like they were really angry and said, no,
Sure.
you don't get our music for free. And it was a whole like ordeal.
Yeah. I spent a dark weekend as a Napster fiend when like my friend had Napster and I just was discovering it. And we could download anything we wanted. And I was just looking at like, how like you can see what you're downloading and like shows the download speed. And I was getting all this. I was getting like, like this was like late 90s or early 2000s. I was getting all the hip hop that I wanted to get. And I was a fiend. I was like up for like, I don't know, 20 hours at my friend's house just downloading music. And finally it's like, man, like I need my computer back. And you're getting a little like, like you're getting weird. And,
Wow. I told you guys I'm not going to get choked up. That was a lot. That's not even half of the videos. But like, I just want to say like, thank you to everyone, all of you that have like supported me, that have, watched me, especially like some of you have been with me, like back when I used to interview like candidates. Just, really, oh man, damn. Just thank you guys so much. Cause, in the very beginning, it was very hard, like doing this. I am not connected, right? So in the beginning, I had no connections. I didn't know anybody. Like I was mainly a lot of times just shooting in the dark, like sending emails to people, like trying to get people to come on, and nobody knew who I was. Most of the time I didn't get a response. Like that was like the majority of the time, no one would say anything. And earlier on, I always remember that like Rome came on. I got it. I met Rome on Twitter. Like Rome was willing to come on. Marianne Williamson came on. She was one of the first, I think, big name people to give me a chance. And like, I always remember that. So it's just been a lot of work, and I have a full-time job. And so there were some times when I was like, I didn't know if I was going to continue doing this, because like I said in the beginning, it was really hard. I remember like my videos sometimes would get like 11 views, 15 views. It took me a while to like really figure out the algorithm. And oh man. I still remember getting that message from Rome and them saying, hey, can we meet? and then asking me to join like FHL, which later became RBN. And like, you guys don't know like how much that meant to me. Like, there aren't many Black people in the space. And obviously, as you can tell, there are very few Black women. And sometimes like I felt like people just wouldn't respond because maybe they didn't respond because they didn't know who I am. Maybe they don't respond because I'm a female. They're a guy. They don't want to talk to a female, or they wouldn't respond because they're like, oh, it's a Black person. They're not as knowledgeable. And those things happen in this space. And it's one of those things where like, if you're not on the back end, you don't see these things. You don't see what goes on behind the scenes. And so it's been very hard. I get attacked a lot. That's why I told you I try not to really go into my DM message requests on Twitter like that, because it's crazy in there. But I get choked up watching that, because I think about all the things that I went through, like trying to do this, and the fact that I stuck with it, like even through all of that shit, like everything that happened that you guys just don't know about, and people coming at me and threatening me and calling me like racial slurs, like just stuff that you guys don't see. The fact that I still stuck with it, I'm glad that I did, because I just feel like people needed to hear my voice. And I just want to say to you, like, if you're female, male, whatever, and you're thinking about doing this and you're nervous, like, one thing I will tell you, reach out to me if you ever need a pep talk, because I did have people that were supportive. Like, once I was up and running, that gave me pep talks when I was like, man, people here are crazy. I'm about to be out. Like, those people like really have been like a support system. So I'm glad that like I stuck with it. But I did a lot of shit. Like, I look back on it and I'm like, damn, I have a lot of videos. Like, I told you guys that like I have 70 articles to write. Well, actually 65 now by next week. And that's for Roundtable. And those are the people I told you that they signed me and all that kind of stuff. And I had to take each of my YouTube videos, the ones that I'm going to put on there, and then write articles for them. So I've been really, really busy. And had it not been for like Nico, I don't know if I would have been given that opportunity. Had it not been for people like Misty from like Facts on the Ground, like, she has been so supportive. And that's really important to have in this space, because the fact of the matter is, if you're not connected with people and you're not connected with the right people, people will easily ignore you. They will avoid you. They will block you. There are people who will block you from getting to other people. These things happen. So yeah, I told you guys I wasn't going to get choked up, but no tears came out. I got a little emotional, but no tears, I got to stay strong. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for just like even wanting to watch me, or even wanting to like listen. I'm not a candidate. I didn't run for office. Like, I don't have a best-selling book by the New York Times. I'm not this scholar. I'm not a professor, but that doesn't mean that I don't have something to say. That doesn't mean that I'm any less educated or any less intelligent than those people. And that's what I want you guys to know. Don't feel like you have to have a certain title to have a voice. I think that's very important, you guys. I saw a couple of chats come through. Thank you so much, Richard Coates, for the super chat. Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you so much for that. What's going on, Robin? You're awesome. Robin does a lot of the thumbnails over at RBN, you guys. She does a lot of our graphics. She did them all for the General Strike Summit. Like, shout out to Robin. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, peace on earth, goodwill towards all. She helps us out a lot over at RBN. Thanks so much for the super chat, Finn Shopes. Thoughts on Caleb Maupin? I brought him on too. I brought him on too. I told you guys, like, I'll talk to anyone. I may not always agree with everything that they say. I don't agree with anyone on everything. I really don't. But I will talk to anyone. And I think that, oh man, like when I freaking look back on it, man, like what the hell? I did a lot of videos, and it's like I said, so I started in January with my show, and this is just to show you guys. This is starting like right right now. I'm live right now. And if you go all the way down, I mean, I'm going all the way back till so many people have been on here. So many people. Princess Blanding, This is Revolution. There's Caleb. Kim Iverson was on here. Max Blumenthal, Danny Haifong. Like, it's a lot of work, man. And then if you go all the way back, this is when you'll start to see the candidate videos. There's Christine Olivio, there's Colin Bird, Steve Cox, Laura Felding. I did activist videos. Ali Dowsimer. That's when Nick came on right after he started, like FHL. Joel Richards was local. He ran for office here in Boston. Erica Eiderhoven, she won. Actually, she ran as a Democratic Socialist and she won here. Another local Bostonian candidate. Chris Smalls was on here. Like, it's been a lot of people. Like, I look back on and you'll see Marianne Williamson goes all the way back. And then there's Rome. So, man, all I have to say again is thank you guys so much. I could not have done it without you. And I also want to give a special shout out to my family who there's no way I could have done this without them. I couldn't have done it without my husband, my sister, my mom, my dad. Like, they are like really, really supportive of me. And that's what you guys may not know. Like, I have a really strong like support team. So special thank you to them. And I can't forget also who you can't see right now because he's in the background, but I have to give a shout out to Eric Thomas, who's my producer, who you guys can't see. I'm sorry, but couldn't have done this with, like, honestly, before Eric came along, I was kind of a mess behind the scenes. Like, I think you guys saw some of that sometimes where I was just like, oh my God, what is happening? Why can't I find? So Eric helps keep things going like smoothly in the background. But without those people, man, like, I've had a lot of help and I really appreciate all of it. And I appreciate all you guys. And, but I'm not going to cry on here, but I do want to end for those of you who came in later, just to say this again, if you can do so, any little bit will help for Dontel. He is in a situation right now where he's dealing with a health issue, but the hotel prices have doubled for Christmas. And he says he doesn't have anywhere else to go. If you can put the Cash App link in the chat one more time, Eric, any little bit will help you guys. And he put the hotel charges summary here. It's $83.49 per night. Taxes and fees is $11.27. And there's a service charge, those punks, $9.99. Altogether, it's $104.75. That's per night. Guys, it's Christmas Eve. I don't want to see anybody out on the street. And Dontel is awesome. He's a friend of the show. He does amazing work on his channel, Unapologetic. Somebody who's just freaking trying to make it through this fucked up capitalist system. And this is the problem that I have with capitalism. And please, like, if you guys can, please help him out. I hate to see anybody in a situation like this, period, but especially around this time of year. So Eric put the link to Dontel's Cash App in the chat. I'm going to send this link to my friends and family as well to see what we can put together and what we can do. But when I tell you guys, like, we can't depend on other, like, these political officials. We cannot depend on them, that we have to help out each other. This is another example. We have to help each other. That's how community is done. We have to stick together and come together as a group. And this is how we build that solidarity. So I'm not going to keep you guys. It's 9:20. It's Christmas Eve. I have one more present to wrap. Don't laugh at me, but I have one more present to wrap, and I'm going to watch a Christmas movie. You guys, please be safe. Have happy holidays. Have a great Christmas tomorrow. and I will miss. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, one more chat. Okay, Sab, here's your chance to show, improve, and be the example. It's time you put a call to arms for all your Massachusetts viewers. July 6th is signature petition deadline to get Medicare for all. I do know about that. Reversing FEC decision to allow foreign money in state, local ballot initiatives, set minimum wage to be permanently above to be permanent above inflation, fair market rent starting at $40. NQI in qualified immunity, create a path for worker co-ops to proliferate eminent domain over broadband infrastructure. Thank you so much, Roger. Yes, I do know about that that Medicare for all thing. I'm in a Medicare for all group here in the Boston area. Nancy Strickland, thank you so much. Merry Christmas, Sabby. Merry Christmas to you too. Beverly Jensen, every time I tune in, Sabby, I learn from you and people in the chat. Thank you so much. Thanks, all of you. Yes, guys, I hate to, reiterate this, but definitely, please, if you can please help out Dontel, please do so. Again, I don't want to see anybody out on the street. Guys, be safe. Have a great Christmas Eve. Have a wonderful Christmas tomorrow. If you are not with family and you are by yourself, reach out to friends. Reach out to, I'm always on Twitter, hell. Reach out to friends. You can reach out to me on Twitter. I don't want anybody to feel alone. Okay? Have a good night. Keep up the fight.